Hey, I'm Brian Van, SportbikeTracker.com, and today we're going to break down the Cox Racing Radiator Guard install on our 2015 STG Yamaha R3 project bike. Radiator guards. Who are they right for? Street riders, track riders, or both? The answer to that is simple. It is both. The point of this is to protect the core of the radiator from impact. We're going to touch on this more as we go in through the video, okay? If you're on the street, you pick up a rock in that radiator, that thing starts leaking, you are waiting for a tow truck. Even worse, get coolant all over the place, gets on the tire or something, you get up with crashing. Racetrack, it's really the same deal. You could miss a race weekend, a track weekend. You could blow a motor if you lose the coolant and you're not keeping track of the gauges when you're out there on track. You can overheat that thing and burn it up in just a couple of laps. This is cheap insurance for what could be a catastrophic failure. Okay, Cox Racing Radiator Guard install on our 2015 STG Yamaha R3. This bike, right, we've got a lot of laps on this bike, and clearly I should have done this a long time ago. I didn't, right? You can see, this is the impacts these things take. This right here, well, that is not from debris on track. That is from little Mr. Mac's van, right? Getting the triple tree standing there all cattywampus, bam, dragging it against his radiator or something, right? That's where I'm pretty sure that happened. This guard is going to go over, so it is going to protect the radiator from all those impacts and all that debris. This is something that we think is a relevant mod for street and or track riders. And the reason we say that is there's a lot of debris on the road. You get cars in front of you, they're kicking that stuff up. And when you have the bodywork on the bike, all the air is channeled through this opening here into the radiator area to cool the motor down. That's where you get the real cooling effect from, is that forced air, that ram air coming through here. And it takes the heat energy from the coolant in the radiator and blows it all back, right? And helps to keep the engine cool. For that reason, when those debris get tossed up in the air, they naturally kind of find their way right here. On the racetrack, you'll see that too. And it's even kind of multiplied a little bit if you're drafting other riders racing. You've got race tires, they're super sticky. They grab everything, different tracks, kind of coming apart a little bit, throwing pieces up. What you're trying to prevent is damage to the fins like this, which reduce efficiency for cooling, but most importantly, from damaging one of the rows in the core itself, it would create a leak. You take a big enough impact, next thing you know, you're spraying coolant all over the place. That can result in a crash. It can result in a blown motor. If you don't know about it, you're out there racing and you've got your head down, that thing overheats, you can burn it up. And I know people who have burned it up. For a street rider, you get a leak like that, you're done. You're calling a tow truck, your ride's over. And something as simple as this can help prevent that. This is a simple install here on the R3. It comes with instructions that include photos. We have to install these little foam pads. Per the instructions, they're going to go in the upper corners only. You can identify the upper portion of this. The logo is going to be on the bottom brake side. Okay, so these are going to be your upper corners. We want to go vertical and horizontal in the upper corners. Okay, so what I did is I used a little bit of brake cleaner and I just cleaned off those surfaces where I'm going to install this. Kind of pinch it a little bit and get that backing to jump off there like so. I'm going to place these in those four corners. They're obviously looking to use this as a little bit of a spacer. Get those four corners all done. and then we'll be ready to install it on the bike. This is a pretty basic job. The toughest part of this is going to be bodywork removal. Our bike is track prepped. We have race fairings on it, okay? So I just removed the upper, the lower, right? The side panels gave me great access here. We also have the cooling fan is removed from this motorcycle as well. Might look a little bit different if you have a street bike. You'll probably still have your fan in place. You'll typically remove those for track bikes. If you have a street bike and you're doing this mod to it, we have several R3 videos back when this was still a street bike where we're removing the side fairings. And that's really what you're going to have to do on this bike to get access to this area. So look to some of those earlier videos if you need help removing the OEM bodywork. Once you have these pads installed, you can go ahead and pull that label too. You definitely don't want to leave that on there. And we're ready to install. This is held to the radiator with just simple cable ties. So what I like to do is just kind of get it up in place, mock it up to get an idea of how this is going to sit. All right, that's going to be about like so. It's a really nice fit. So we're going to go ahead and get the cable ties they've supplied. The cross brace at the top and bottom of the core, where it meets the side tanks, there is going to be an opening in here, right, where there are no fins. Slide the cable tie through that opening. And up through here like so. And you're going to leave it loose. Just going to get it started, and then we'll go to the other side and get the upper mount installed in the same manner. Draw that up just a little bit. And we'll get the lower one while we're on this side. Make sure you get it through the right hole. Still not all the way tight. Over to the other side. And repeat. You know, realistically, the right way to have done this would be to have installed this when the radiator was pretty new, before the, you know, if we had a bunch of fins already, you know, kind of compressed there in the core, but I mean, that ship already sailed, so 'tis what it is. You don't need to get crazy with these cable ties either and, you know, wrench them down to any extreme limit. You know, you just need to have it so that it's held in place. Like so. And we'll grab some side cutters now and trim off the excess there. From here, we'll be ready to put the bike back together. I like to leave just a little excess hanging out, not cut them too close. There you have it. When we come back, we'll have the bodywork back on the bike and we'll close this up. Okay, there you have it. The bike is magically back together. It's a relatively simple install. I think the most complicated part of the equation, for sure, for many people, is going to be the bodywork removal and reinstallation. If you have race bodywork, it's pretty easy. Odds are you probably put that on yourself. If you have street bodywork, look to some of the other videos that we've done when this was a street bike. We cover removing the side fairings pretty clearly. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments section of this video. I answer all those myself, and I'm here to help you get the same end result from your project we have ours.